I'm spending the next 24 hours learning new Pro Controller binds. You might be wondering why. Well, I've been playing Fortnite with paddles for over 5 years, since Chapter 1 Season 5, and I've always had the same binds. Left paddle jump, right paddle edit, and switch mode on R3, which has allowed me to get pretty good. But it always seemed like my edit speeds were slower than other players, and I think I finally discovered why. No one edits with a paddle. Cam, Bully, Death, D-Roller, Scoped, all insane players that use paddles on controller. But guess what every single one of their edit binds is? If you said L3, you're right. Every single Paddles Pro uses an L3 edit in R1 reset and has switch mode and jump on their paddles. So for the next 24 hours, I'm completely revamping my binds and learning the most optimized paddle binds in Fortnite. And this is how I look just 1 minute in. Now I'm in a free build for 1 hour and we'll see my progression. And if you want to see how good I can get in an entire day of playing, then you'll want to watch until the end of the video. So I started my 1 hour timer and got to work. And to be honest, editing with L3 felt super easy. I didn't change my jump or select bind, so within just like 5 minutes, I could already do things like double edits, and how fast I was picking up on it made me think this was gonna be easy. But then I tried to click my switch mode while building, and I messed up so much, which led me to doing this little side jump drill about 100 times in a row. The key to learning new binds is just doing a ton of repetition. So after I finished the side jump drill, I wanted to get my new reset bind involved, so I moved on to this double reset drill, and again, I did it like 100 times in a row. Because of all the repetitions of those drills, by the end of the hour, I could tie them together and actually do a pretty good free build, which I was hyped about. Oh, bro, we're already getting there. Right after that, I even did my first triple edit, which is a big milestone for anyone learning new binds, so to complete that in just the first hour was awesome. So I have some muscle memory built, but these next 3 hours are going to be the most important part to improving a ton today. And that's because I'm learning piece control. So my 3 hours of piece control started just about how you'd expect. I was really slow and still figuring out my new binds, so I messed up a bunch. The biggest struggle for me was figuring out my new switch mode bind, but slowly after tons of repetitions in each drill, I started to see some progress. This map is obviously great to learn piece control, but it's even better for building muscle memory because I can literally do the same drill hundreds of times in a row. So eventually, I figure out which buttons I'm supposed to be pressing. And by doing each drill this many times, it like locks the movements into your head. So when it's time to play against actual players later in this video, I'll already be decent at piece control. I won't have to mess up as much against them. That's why I think it's so important to spend a lot of time in a piece control course like this when you're trying to learn new binds. Because if I just jumped into like 1v1s or zone wars right away, I'd constantly mess up and it'd take me so much longer to learn. But doing it this way, well, the progress kind of speaks for itself. So after 3 hours and over 1,000 reps of piece control drills, I was ready to move on. That puts me at the 4 hour mark, and like I mentioned, those 3 hours were key to improving a lot today. I mean, this is what I looked like just a few hours ago, and now because I grinded that map, I can do stuff like this. Now I do have a few goals for today as markers to see how good I am in these new binds, starting with the quad edit. Let's see if I can do this. Hey, there we go, the quad edit. Nice. Okay, there's 2 more goals by the end of this video, with the next being to hit a clip on another player, and then the final goal is to win a solos game. Before any of that though, I had to actually fight a real player for the first time, and that's when I started playing 1v1. Alright, here we go. We got the first 1v1 against, I can't even pronounce his name, and I already messed it up. GG's. This is the first time I'd use my binds with real pressure on me, and it shows. For the previous 4 hours, I've been piece controlling and shooting bots that stand still, but now I have a real player in front of me that's trying their best to eliminate me. So this is when you really start messing up and forgetting which buttons you're supposed to click. But I've learned so many different ways of playing Fortnite that I know this struggle is just part of the process. Like if you want to see the full uncut progression, I live streamed the entire day on my Twitch, Carter2K. I've live streamed myself learning mouse and keyboard, learning new binds, and in some upcoming streams, I'll even be getting to Unreal and learning Claw for a week. So please drop me a follow on Twitch. I'll even link it at the top of the description to make it super easy. Okay, you can still see me messing up a little bit, but there's no way to avoid messing up under pressure. Like the literal only way to get better at it is to spend more time in those high pressure situations. That's also why when learning new binds, playing real games right away is a big mistake. Like you will mess up, and in real games if you mess up, that could be 10 to 15 minutes completely wasted with almost no progress. Meanwhile, 15 minutes in 1v1s could be almost 30 fights where you improve a ton. The big key to improving in 1v1s though is to find someone at the same or slightly higher skill level than you. Like if you get destroyed 30 rounds in a row by Booga, then you're not really improving. But if you can have competitive fights where you win some by making good plays and lose some by making mistakes, you'll get better pretty fast. And you can actually see a perfect example of that from me right here after just about an hour of 1v1. Now I've been playing pretty good up to this point, but I still need to hit a clip to complete my goals, and that's when this happened. Okay, if that other one didn't count as a clip, I'm definitely counting that as a clip. But even after I got the clip, I still didn't feel confident enough in my fighting skills to move on. So I stayed in 1v1s for a while longer, and that was definitely a smart move because I started making some really good piece control plays. Throughout this entire day, editing with L3 was actually the easiest new bind to learn. The thing I struggled with a ton was switch mode, but you start to see me figure it out in a few of these clips where I'm doing things like replacing walls and switching back to my weapons pretty quickly. Now honestly, my goal was to just hit one clip, but I definitely think I hit more than just one. Full P. I'm officially at the 6-hour mark, and I feel like I'm seeing some great progression. Still leaves one final goal to complete, and that's to win a solos game. The only issue is my box fight skills are not up to par. My solo games get sweaty, so if I want to beat these players, I'm gonna have to be good at box fighting. Which is why right before I hop into real solos, I absolutely had to practice box fights, and it actually paid off a ton. Of course, I was pretty bad at first, but in just a few rounds, I started to get a better feel for it. In box fighting, there's a ton of quick edits, and you're constantly clicking your switch mode to replace walls and do all that. So on new binds, it really puts you to the test. I enjoyed the challenge though, and I saw some really fast progression. After just about an hour of box fights, I was already putting together fights like this, which was not only satisfying, but also gave me a ton of confidence to head into a real solos game. I think it's officially time. I've been learning these binds for 8 hours straight, and I've seen some major progression. So I think I can finally attempt the ultimate goal of winning a game. Now, I'll be honest, my real game started off with some absolute bots, but after eliminating about 7 of them, this happened. We got a real player. The fight was actually going well until I decided to take a boom battle, and yeah. Anyways, on to the next game, which again started with some bots, but pretty quickly I ran into some real players, and I almost completely sold by forgetting where my switch mode bind was. Thankfully, I got away with the mistake and actually had a really solid fight against this player. I mean, just watch this clip and remember that I only just switched to these binds earlier this day. Let's go, chat. That fight gave me more confidence than ever, and the game rewarded me by giving me some more bots to fight. However, at this point, I was mentally exhausted from having to think so hard about my binds all day to make sure I clicked the right ones. So all I wanted was to win this game, and here's what happened. 8 kills, 7 left. We gotta do this, chat. We gotta do this. I made it to endgame with really no issue and was able to beam this guy, but the sneaky sniper guy almost ruined my day. This endgame was literally full of people either flying around or not paying attention, so I got a ton of beams, and then again, almost sold. Oh my god, there's a guy up there. Then I managed to pick a player off while rotating in, and again was able to beam a ton of players with my AR. This lightsaber guy almost got me, but I got him with the aim, and then it was a 1v1v1. Only 2 players standing between me and my glorious win on my brand new binds. So I managed to get one that ran out of mats with my sticky grenades, and also managed to land one on this last player for 65 damage. And bang, let's go, chat. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and please go over and follow my Twitch right now. It's greatly appreciated. I hope to talk to you guys in my chat soon.